Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a brand new day. It's nice to have you on board. Thanks for catching the Aired Out podcast. We're live on North Main Street in Barrie, Vermont, streamed everywhere you get your podcasts, and, of course, on the web at airedoutvt.com. But looking at a beautiful day today. As I said yesterday, there's really no change up here in the forecast. It is going to be sunny and hovering into the low to mid 70s here pretty much all week, and getting a glance at this coming weekend, upcoming, it is going to be pretty much perfect. I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out at me, which is great news for any of you that are going to be doing anything outdoors, whether it's stacking firewood, maybe buttoning up the roof, doing some outdoor projects, or maybe you're going to be involved with the 5th annual AirPeyton Memorial 5K Walk and Run for Pediatric Cancer Awareness. And with me in the studio are my special guests, Matt and Danny Smith. It is an absolute honor to have you both in here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. You're loving this forecast for this weekend.
Absolutely. Yes.
I have to, I'm going to be very transparent and admit a few things here this morning that I don't know. I'm almost embarrassed to admit. I have heard of this, but I have not taken a full grasp of exactly what it is and what a big deal it is in our community. And Danny, I think it was you that kind of got on me about this, right?
I did. I reached out to you on Facebook and sort of stalked you a little bit until you answered.
Listen, I appreciate that so much. You have no idea, because let's be honest. We all know there's a ton of stuff that's going on in our community.
Absolutely.
And a lot of it can fall through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
But with you made sure that this was something that I was not only aware of, but that I might be able to try to push a little bit here on my platform. And I'm so blessed that you stayed with me and didn't let me off the hook here, because this is because seriously, once I started looking into this, I realized what a huge deal this is, and what a story this is. You are mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vermonters.
Not originally.
Now, wait a second.
Sorry.
Not native Vermonters. We've been here since 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
I'm originally from New Hampshire. Danny's.
We're becoming Vermonters.
We're about to becoming Vermonters. We understand there's significant criteria of which we might not.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best.
Now, wait a second. You've survived the flood in Montpelier?
We did.
You're Vermonters.
Yes.
I think. But you have a young child, boy, man, young man.
Yes.
All right, and tell me about him.
You want to start?
So we actually have two boys. Our oldest son, Peyton, was just this amazing kid. Everything was going fine.
Yes.
We were getting ready to move. We were living in Europe. Matt was in the Air Force. And so we're getting ready to move, and probably for about a year before we were getting ready to move, he kept complaining of pain, and in his hip, in his knee, and so he played sports. So we would take him to the doctor. Doctor said it's just he's just overuse, all of that. Finally, did an MRI. They went in and did a biopsy and found out that it was Ewing sarcoma. A type of bone cancer that was initially they thought just in his right leg. Immediately, the Air Force amazingly said, "We've got to get you guys back now. We don't have time to wait."
You were both in the Air Force.
Yes, I'm a reservist, and so I was working at Ramstein Air Base, and he was working at the NATO base there in Germany, and so we were getting ready to come. His next assignment was at Norwich University as the Air Force ROTC commander. And so we had planned on moving back to New England anyways. And when we started looking around, everyone felt like the best care could be had at Mass Gen in Boston, that there's just so many great doctors and programs there. So we got on the plane and headed back. And immediately within that afternoon, after we got off of the plane from Germany, we went to Mass Gen. They started doing the testing. By that next week, he had started his initial treatments. So we were living in a hotel in a Residence Inn, sponsored by the Fisher House, and he was coming back and forth up here to go to Norwich for work, and we were just kind of doing what we could to get his treatment done. That was our main focus.
Now, what about your other boy?
So our younger son has been, through all of this, an absolute rock star. Like, he is just
Keegan. His
name's Keegan, and he is just the best. He has been, when we first got here, he was staying with friends, sometimes people that were old friends of Matt's that he didn't even know, didn't matter, part of our family. They just would take him. And so trying to get him in school and all of that would just be, it was a lot, but he was such a trooper the entire time.
Wow. Mm-hmm. How old was Keegan during this was all unfolding?
He was 12.
He was 12. Yeah. So Keegan,
he turned 12 that summer.
Yeah. So he turned 12 that summer, going into 6th grade. Seventh grade. Yeah. Okay. 7th grade. And then Peyton was a rising junior at Montpelier High School. And so Keegan was going to the middle school.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Already I'm just like, I'm trying to wrap my head around this and process this as if any of this wouldn't be as difficult as it is. The fact that you guys were in Europe and in the Air Force, and having to uproot and run back and deal with this
it was a lot.
Yeah,
we were on a plane. I think probably within 2 days, right?
Yeah.
We didn't know at the time. We didn't know at the time that Peyton's cancer had metastasized, and we just didn't. We didn't have an understanding of what we were dealing with. So we knew time was of the essence, and fortunately, the support that I had, just from an Air Force perspective, and then from a Norwich University perspective. I mean, at the time, President Schneider, Rich Schneider was the president at Norwich. He supported us unequivocally, just as a family. Even though I worked for them as a university, but he wasn't necessarily my supervisor. I was still active duty Air Force, and so I think probably the most challenging aspect of all of this was literally trying to find a place to live, knowing that we were going to end up in Central Vermont. Where was that going to be? And then kind of the relationship that we were going to have with the hospitals in Boston, and then the relationship potentially that we were going to have with UVM, because UVM has, elite resources in Burlington as well, just from a pediatric cancer perspective. And it was ultimately determined that, going back and forth for frontline care to Boston was at that time the best course of action, for us. Mm-hmm.
And you also got some help from the Jimmy Fund?
Yeah.
So after Peyton did he was considered cancer-free for about 3 months before he relapsed. They're not 100% sure if it was an actual relapse or if it just the initial treatment knocked it down so far that it wasn't completely detectable. And so when he relapsed, we went back to Mass Gen. They said, yes, the cancer's back, and we aren't able to treat it. There's no actual treatment for Ewing's sarcoma after the initial treatment is complete. It all becomes at that point studies and trying different things and seeing what might take.
Clinical trials.
Yeah, lots of clinical trials and things like that. Whereas like for the initial treatment, it's a very set regimen, like a lot of cancers, but for relapse, there's nothing.
So at that point, Mass Gen has a, obviously unique local relationship with Dana-Farber and the Jimmy Fund. They said, there's a doctor who's one of the leading pediatric oncologists and researchers in the country. We're going to pair you up with them and make sure that to see if there's some opportunities for Peyton to be on trials. And so that's, when at that point we established that relationship with them, and so we did all, the battery of tests and so on and so forth, and kind of that, which kind of brings us full circle to why we do what we do today. The doctor that we worked with, gets his funding from Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. So they do the research, grants to not just the Jimmy Fund, hospitals throughout the entire country. And so that's when we realized, obviously through the professionalism and the care that the Jimmy Fund provides, but also just through the fact that knowing that if that research money was not provided to hospitals like Dana-Farber, like the Jimmy Fund, and other places, children would literally not have a second chance at life. And that's really what you're giving them, is you're doing tests to determine how can we, whether it's immunotherapy or whether it's, DNA sequencing, and I'm probably getting all this wrong, but the bottom line is we felt like that relationship was unique enough and it was meaningful enough that if we were going to do anything in the future, as an establish, in this case, AirPeyton, Incorporated, which is, our soon-to-be nonprofit that we're establishing,
We're working on getting together.
that we're going to raise money to do that. And so for the last 5 years, we worked with Alex, or at least 4 years, we worked with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation to make sure that all of our proceeds, 100%, go there so that kids like Peyton can get an opportunity to do a trial where they are, not necessarily at Dana-Farber, but wherever they may be, Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, St. Jude. It doesn't necessarily matter for us, where that money goes to. What matters is that the children have an opportunity to do that, because in some cases that the trials work. Like, when when Danny and I spoke with Liz Scott of Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, she's the co-founder of that. Had her daughter Alex been alive today, she would have had an opportunity to go on a trial that potentially would have cured the type of cancer that Alex had. And so that's inspirational for us, and it's inspirational, I think, and it just gives parents hope. And like, that's our theme for this year, for 2025, is keeping hope alive. So that's, again, why we do what we do. And we think it matters and it's meaningful, and arguably it just keeps us going.
Alex was a little girl.
Yep, little girl
who was diagnosed with cancer at age 2. I think you were telling me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And started a lemonade stand.
Yeah, so
for herself.
Yeah, she wanted to do something, and so she told her mom, why isn't there money? Because on average, a lot of cancer studies for more adult cancers, for cancers in general, come from the NIH, the National Institute of Health. Only 4% of their funding goes to all pediatric cancers, and a lot of that goes to the more common of the pediatric cancers, like leukemia, that type of thing. And so there just isn't funding, and even as a little girl, she understood that was unacceptable to her. And so she asked if she could do a lemonade stand, and then told kids in her class, and it just grew and grew and grew from there. And so that's kind of their mantra, is that, one person doesn't have to do everything, but if everybody does a little bit, then it just grows and grows and grows.
Power in numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's just mention numbers here. Just Alex's Lemonade Stand. What do you know? I mean, that first lemonade stand, what did that pull in?
Yeah. So Alex's initial goal was $1 million. And so before she passed, they were able to raise $1 million through local lemonade stands, her lemonade stand, and then her friends and the community. And it just grew and grew from there. And so I think that was 2 years. It took her 2 years to do that.
2 years to
raise the $1 million, the initial $1 million, which is still amazing for a lemonade stand. But
for a little girl, too.
Yes, I know, who was sick at the time and going through treatment, and didn't feel well most of the time. And so I can't imagine the fortitude that she had to make that happen. So, but I don't remember how much have they raised now over the last 25 years.
Yeah, over the last 25 years, the 25-year anniversary happened, I think, over the summer, but I think they're close to $450 million raised. So, which is
So needed.
which is incredible, and it's so needed. So and
And Northwestern Mutual and Hyundai are
yeah,
involved
Northwestern
in this?
Mutual.
Holy smokes!
Northwestern Mutual. In fact, September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and so JD, we appreciate you having us on during this month. I mean, we appreciate you having us on anyways, but just
for sure.
pediatric cancer should have more than just 1 month. But the fact that it is September, I think, is special. And if you go to Northwestern Mutual, they dedicate an entire page to their relationship with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, and it's it's heartwarming. It's heartwarming to see just an entire company like that.
Yeah.
Just give time, give energy, give a voice to pediatric cancer and pediatric cancer research, because again, it's needed, and
Absolutely.
and they do it in such a meaningful way, as well. That anyone can contribute. Again, just like Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation says, they say literally 1 cup at a time, and to
Yeah.
me that translates to, either bringing awareness to. If you can give $1, give $1. If you can give more, that's great, because again, I think that Alex's they make sure that money donated matters, that it doesn't, it's not spent frivolously, it's spent in a meaningful capacity, and we've seen it firsthand. We've been beneficiaries of that research money and grant, and we are so grateful.
Wow.
Yeah.
How, obviously I want to ask you about the word air and get into that, but
Sure.
Did Peyton graduate from Montpelier High School?
He did. He graduated in 2020, which was a crazy, crazy time to be trying to finish up high school and graduate. The Montpelier High School did an amazing job. They actually had each of the kids come up individually outside to the high school, and they got to put on their cap and gown and walk across the stage, and then they spliced it all together so that the families could zoom it out and we could all watch it. And so he was beyond excited that he was able to go out and do that and put on his his cap and gown. It was really tough in a lot of ways, because there was a lot of things that he missed out on his senior prom because everything was canceled because of COVID. He missed out on every year the Jimmy Fund does a trip to Florida for spring training. And he was scheduled to go on that, and that was canceled. He was supposed to go to Red Sox spring training. His baseball team at the high school was supposed to go on a spring break trip to Florida for baseball, to play baseball down there with a bunch of other teams. They weren't able to do that, so he missed out on quite a bit, not only because he was so sick, but because of COVID. So we made the best of it, and Montpelier, in true Montpelier High School fashion, took great care of all the kids and made sure that they got as much as they could out of everything. So,
I don't know who over at Montpelier High School, and I'm sure there are several people that just refused to allow this event to not happen.
right.
And not only that, but also refuse to not let it grow
Right.
into something as big as it is now. And
Right.
Yeah.
this is year number 5. This coming Sunday
Right.
at Montpelier High School.
Right.
It's from 11 till 2, and it's a walk and a run, a 5K, right?
Right.
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 And it's done either in person there at the school,
Right.
or virtually.
Yep.
Right.
Is this the first year that it's being done virtually?
No, this is the third year.
It's the 3rd or 4th year.
Yeah, third or fourth year. And we started that because we have, as a military family, we have friends literally around the world, stationed everywhere. And we thought, well, because our younger son had done a couple of virtual 5Ks during 2020 and during COVID when everything was shut down, just to have something fun to do. Yeah. And we were like, well, these people would like to participate and they'd like to give, and so what if we do it virtually? What if we offer a virtual option? And so we have people all around the world doing it this year.
Let's name names and name countries.
Sure.
Go.
So, so this year there's participants just across the U.S. I mean, everywhere from Alaska.
Our friend Tim in Alaska.
What?
Our friend Tim in Alaska.
Yes, actually, there's Tim, Michelle. There's multiple people in Alaska. There's California, Nevada, Texas, Florida, Virginia, Michigan. JD, I would be remiss if I didn't give it a shout out to, I work with some teams in NCAA hockey, Lake Superior State University in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Their entire team is coming together wearing AirPeyton colors. They're going across the border to Sault Ste. Marie, Canada, participating in the Terry Fox Run in honor of Peyton. And so they're doing that there, which of course the Terry Fox Run specifically raises money for pediatric cancer because Terry Fox himself had osteosarcoma and did the Marathon of Hope. And them, Union College in New York, is also participating. And then, we have
our younger son goes to Salve Regina University down in Newport, Rhode Island, and the entire team is doing the run together as a team.
Yep.
And we have friends.
This has turned into a
Texas
monster.
everywhere.
Yeah. It has, and I think that just through platforms like yours that get the word out there. I think initially, what was just a humble sort of get together in high school. I think the power of social media, the power of just voices such as yourselves, just I think gives people like us strength to continue, because you wonder, like, are we really doing something with this? Is this really meaningful? Because there's a lot of work that goes into it.
It's a lot of work.
There's a ton of work, and we wouldn't be able to do it without. I mean, our friends that help out are amazing. I mean, my sister helps out, my brother helps out. Danny's friends and family help out. So, I mean, it is really a team effort. But I think that the social media platforms itself, because you can tell Peyton's story without without me having to always tell the story, Danny having to tell the story, or Keegan, whether it's through the website, whether it's through, a podcast or something like that. You have an opportunity to kind of just say the goodness about Peyton. And what he meant and how hard he fought, I mean, childhood cancer kids, whether they passed or whether they're still alive, I mean, warriors. I mean, they really are. Across the board. Peyton never complained. He never complained once. And he just went and did what needed to be done. And I think that level of resiliency and how he maintained positivity throughout all of it, regardless, I think that's something that should be celebrated. Not just in the month of September, but celebrated throughout. And if this can be our little way of giving back and raising money and bringing awareness, then these kids deserve it. They didn't ask to get cancer. They didn't ask to get cancer at all. And in a lot of cases, I mean, all of them were living healthy lives up until the point where they were no longer healthy because they were stricken with cancer. So if we can do our part, right? And again, that could be just wearing a bracelet. It could be wearing a T-shirt. It could be wearing gold. It could be, maybe donating money or time or effort or volunteerism and stuff like that. So that's why we do what we do, and it motivates us. And again, I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you for having us on and being able to say those words. So appreciate it, JD.
This is I'm sitting here, I'm listening to you, and I'm saying to myself, this is such a blessing for me that I've met you guys and that we're having this experience this morning here on the air, because I feel like I've made two more friends.
Oh, wonderful.
And I would love to have you on, obviously, every year.
Yeah, we would love that.
And shame on me for not having you on year 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've got to do some making up for that.
Well, we appreciate
Well,
that.
thank you, Jane.
And
Yeah.
I intend to, and at the absolute least, just promote this as much as possible.
Thank you.
This is a really this is a fun event. I mean,
Yeah.
the pictures that I've seen just on your social media, AirPeyton 25, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real.
Everybody's having a good time.
It's amazing. It's so much fun, and it's so heartwarming to see. One of the things that as a mom who's lost a kiddo is you're just so afraid that people will forget him. And every year seeing the AirPeyton t-shirts around town, or going out and if I say AirPeyton, people know what that is and they remember him. And that to me is like, if there's no other reason to do it than that, just that people still celebrate him every year.
So what's the deal now? He aspired to create an athletic sneaker.
He did. He was absolutely enamored and in love with sneakers and the sneaker culture. And from the time he was probably in early middle school, loved it, would look for sneaker drops to see when the next and the latest greatest thing was coming out. And his goal, one of the things that really meant a lot to him, was to be a sneaker designer someday. And so when we started, when he went through the whole college application process, that's what we were looking for, is programs that have industrial design or sneaker design. He actually did a summer course down at RISD in Rhode Island while he was in between treatment. It was like a week-long program to do sneaker design. And so that was his Make-A-Wish, was to go to the Nike headquarters and design his own sneaker. And so we were able to go and do that. Make-A-Wish made that happen. And so he designed a Jordan 4. He got to sit down with the actual Air Jordan team at the Nike headquarters and design his own sneaker. And so they put on it AirPeyton, and so that's where we came up with the name AirPeyton. So yeah.
You got? How come you didn't bring one?
I know.
Yeah. So we totally
we
didn't think this through, JD.
No.
But yeah.
No.
But a very quick search of AirPeyton and Air Jordan 4 will reveal multiple articles by sneaker magazines, sneaker designers, and Instagram posts and Facebook posts and all that sort of stuff. So the backstory on the Air Jordan 4. Air Jordan 4 is obviously their signature shoe when it comes to, whether it's artists or athletes and all that sort of stuff, when they're kind of creating their signature shoe. So Peyton knew that he wanted to create that. And so if you look at the colors on there, JD, it's Air Force blue, right? He was an Air Force kid, and so he spent really, in one way or another, 18 years in the U.S. Air Force as a dependent. And so he traveled literally all over the world. Born in Oklahoma, went to school everywhere, and so the Air Force culture was very important to him. So that's why that blue is that blue. So that is the Air Force blue, and then the yellow that's the pediatric cancer yellow. So. And then
is that it right there on your
Yep,
monitor?
those are them.
Yeah, those are them.
I'm going to bring them over so everyone
Yep.
can see.
Yeah, so those are them. And so
really?
Yeah.
So
There's 4 pair in the world.
So there's 4 pair in the world. So mine are still fresh. Mine are unworn, and Danny's are still unworn. Keegan has worn his, and Peyton, of course, wore his, and that's him with all 4 pair right there in his bedroom.
Yeah.
And so again, the backstory, in fall of 2019, through Make-A-Wish Vermont and in collaboration with Make-A-Wish Oregon, he went out to Nike headquarters, sat down, just like Danny said, with the Jordan division and created those shoes. So he sat with people. Yeah, crazy, amazing.
The people that actually sit down with Michael Jordan and make shoes.
Yeah, which
it's just
yeah.
We were completely blown away.
Blown away. So selecting whether it's the colorway, whether it's the cloth or the leather, and all that sort of stuff. And so there's unique things throughout that sneaker. All the places that Peyton lived are laser engraved along the base of the shoe. The bottom of the shoe has pediatric cancer yellow in it. So, and then just something that's super unique, JD, on the right side is, if you notice that logo, it's not just a cancer logo, but the white is the Nike. It's yeah.
Whose idea was that?
Peyton's.
That was Peyton's idea.
Peyton's idea. He came up with that.
So he came up with that. So it's
I could have something like that so obvious right in front of my face.
I know.
Right.
I would have never. He was so creative.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So it's so subtle, but yet so just so poignant. And so that and Nike has been amazing to work with, and just just essentially as far as allowing that to be on the sneaker and allowing to be part of the AirPeyton history. And so that's why the event itself is called AirPeyton. And so
Can we get more than 4 made though?
I know, right?
No, you're one of a million that's asked
yeah,
us that.
so there's been a lot of folks, and there's been, it's no surprise, there's been a lot of people that have offered an unbelievable amount of money for those shoes. And yes, yeah.
Where are the 4 right now?
So,
Well, they're
at our house.
at our house, locked up in a vault. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
We have a gym downstairs. So Peyton shoes are in the gym, which is it's the AirPeyton Memorial Gym, which our friends built for Keegan in honor of his brother who passed.
Wow.
And so, but Peyton, that's where Peyton's sneaker collaboration is it's in a temperature controlled environment. I know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But-
not even a joke.
But you got to make sure you take care of them.
Sure.
And whatnot. And so Peyton was very particular about how he cared for his shoes, how he cared for his clothing, and all that sort of stuff. And so, when he was designing it, he had an idea. And what's pretty cool, JD, is on the tongue, or not the tongue, but the insole is nose art from World War II aircraft. So like the shark's teeth, if you will. So if you go back to like a P-40 Warhawk or a P-51, he took the nose art off of that, and that is the insole to the shoe as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, he's very creative.
Guys, this is really quite a story here. Look at this. I'm going to be sharing this up too. I'm going to get all of this.
Yeah, there they are.
Yeah, there they are, right there. And so if you look at the bottom right-hand part of that shoe, I don't
Right
know
here.
if you can see that. Yeah, so like the left side, the furthest to the left says Oklahoma City, and then all the places that he's lived, with the last one being Vermont.
Yeah. Pennsylvania, Italy, Germany.
Right. Yep. And then there's the tongue. Yep.
Absolutely incredible. There it is. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
And then then of course the Nike, the yellow inside the,
Right in here.
yeah, right in there. And then yellow on the bottom, and then blue as well. That was his idea. And then that's the insole that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So if you turn them on their side, if you remember back in the day, it was just important for the crews to personalize their aircraft. And so
Yes.
Peyton thought, it's important that I'm personalizing my shoe, and I want to personalize my shoe akin to what, our, U.S. Army Air Force, Air Corps aviators did at the time. So
Sure.
it was important to him to have military Air Force representation. So again, this is all him. I have zero design ability in my body, and
Same.
yes.
I know.
So
yeah,
What a story.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
he's pretty amazing.
I'm so blown away. I didn't know this. I mean, I do now.
Yeah.
And I think a good number of people who weren't aware of this are now. I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah. And so just a quick shout out to, Peyton got accepted to a lot of schools across the country. I mean, University of Oregon, he applied to University of Oregon just because the unique ties between University of Oregon and obviously Nike with Phil Knight and all that sort of stuff. And he got accepted to Baylor, the University in Texas. That's where Danny went. Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston, because again, he wanted to be an industrial designer, if you will. However, what we ended up doing was just going to St. Mike's. He's like, well, I want to try to experience college, and so Peyton applied to St. Mike's, got into St. Mike's, and we moved him in, and all that sort of stuff, and that was to be the start of his kind of collegiate, sort of experience, with the hopes of at least something, possibly some trial working out and whatnot, but and that was the fall of 2020. And bottom line, St. Mike's was incredible, and supported him and supported us throughout, and whatnot. And I say that just because of the fact that, that was important to him, was to try to experience college, try to experience some semblance of what it meant to be a normal 18-year-old
Yeah.
kid.
Exactly.
So
That was kind of one of our themes kind of throughout his treatment, is to give him as much normal as we could.
Yeah.
You know, he got his driver's license, he did driver's ed, he tried to go to school as much as he possibly could. And they were his treatment team at Mass Gen, his treatment team at Dana-Farber, the high school, everyone worked so hard to give him as much normal and everyday life that he could have, the normal teenager things and girlfriends and friends and being a part of the sports teams. And the high school was, Montpelier High School was amazing. From the moment he showed up, they were just like, whatever we need to do to make sure that he is here as much as he can be, that we make accommodations when he can't, and we just go from there. And that was really important to him. We would, when he was going through radiation, we would be in Boston. For the radiation treatment they only have proton radiation treatment in certain locations, and there's only a couple on the East Coast, and one is in Boston at Mass Gen. And it's Monday through Friday treatment every day. And so we had to stay down there. And so Peyton and I basically moved down to Boston, and he would do a treatment Friday morning. We would get in the car, drive back up to Vermont, and he would go to his last 2 classes, just so that he could go to school just a little bit, because it's a 6-week program, and he was going to miss 6 weeks of school, and he just didn't want to do that. So we made accommodations and made it happen. And to be as sick as he was, and to just be like, whatever, I'm going to still get up and I'm going to go to school, and that was so important to him. It's amazing the things that he was able to accomplish.
He's a
and do.
tough kid.
yeah, really tough kid.
Absolutely.
He gets that from mom. Yeah.
Well, yeah. That doesn't surprise me. Moms are,
Yeah.
both of you are remarkably strong individuals and fantastic parents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This event on Sunday brings together not just Montpelier and students from Montpelier
No.
High School, but Norwich University and several other schools too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So U32 has been in this from Jump Street as well. We also have support, from, there's been Barry residents, and folks from all of Central Vermont that have been a part of this, from day one. And the support that we receive from businesses in Montpelier, the support that we receive from businesses, here
Northfield and Barry, everywhere.
in Barry has been amazing.
I know that you guys don't have papers in your hands
Right.
with a cheat sheet
Right.
with the list of all of the businesses and individuals that have made this
Right.
such a success. But
Right.
you got some pretty big sponsors.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We've been
Yes.
everyone has been amazingly generous, and I'm always amazed each year when we reach out and say, hey, we're, this is the next year, that they're just like, absolutely, what can we do to help? From, people in the local community to, just a huge variety of sponsors, and our friends that own businesses kind of around the country sponsor as well. And everyone is just amazing. It's amazing to see the people that come out and give. And we have everything from, small donations. If that's what the business can provide, then that's awesome. We do a huge raffle at the event every year. That's usually a huge, huge hit. So we do everything from, we've had Norwich gear from the hockey team, signed jerseys, UVM.
UVM gear.
Yeah, this year they've donated not only a fight cancer jersey from the team, but they've also donated hockey tickets and basketball tickets. We've had all kinds of stuff.
You guys are blowing my mind right now.
So it's amazing. This year we are actually, in addition to our normal raffle, we're having Flowers by Danielle donated a e-bike. So we have an amazing, I wish it were mine, e-bike. It's awesome. Yeah. So we're raffling that off as well to raise more money.
Yeah, I mean Talbert's Maple Syrup in Maple Syrup Farm in Cabot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bigham Fox and Skinner has been.
yeah,
Fox and Skinner.
Bigham Fox
Yeah,
and Skinner.
they've sponsored every year.
Yeah,
Not surprised.
Yeah, no, that Heidi Groff over there and her
Yeah.
partner, they're amazing. We were very lucky. They were one of the first families that we met. Our boys played baseball together, our younger son and their son played baseball together, and they are lifelong friends, whether Heidi likes it or not. She's amazing, and they have been amazingly supportive, like they are to a lot of different community events.
yeah.
So MMR, the Tringe family.
Yeah, MMR, the Tringe family. I mean, literally every single restaurant in Montpelier
Yeah.
has done a gift card.
Yeah, everything from Buddy's and the Mad Taco.
Yeah,
and,
Buddy's Mad
and
Taco,
Skinny Pancake,
Positive Pie,
Positive
Skinny
Pie,
Ondas.
all of the. Yeah,
yeah.
Penny's
This
Tap
is all,
Room.
we're all just talking raffle here.
Yeah, this is just
Yeah,
for
the raffle is kind of a big deal. It's super exciting, and it's an opportunity for. I mean, Danny and friends and family, they build gift baskets, if you will, and then you can just get you get raffle tickets by just signing up for the event. Anyways, you can buy additional raffle tickets, and mind you, we're not charging obviously thousands of dollars for raffle tickets, which kind of makes it exciting, and so it's just an opportunity for the local businesses and community. And whatnot to get exposure, right? Because if you get a gift card, you're going to go there, right? I mean,
Sure,
like,
right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And again, whatever that is, and so it gives them an opportunity to maybe try something that they haven't had an opportunity to try, in the past.
Sure.
And Morse Farm, another one that's
Morse
just
Farm.
year in and year out.
Yeah.
Those guys have been
Yeah.
have
Capital
been
Stationers.
Capital Stationery, Eric Bigglestone and team. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Forget Me Not Flowers just across the street has been great.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah, I mean, it's been great, and in some cases it's not thousands upon thousands of dollars of gift cards, but we don't care. Like it
People
doesn't.
get excited
People get
about it.
excited.
Yeah.
And
We have a good friend too that our younger sons played baseball together, and he donates. He's a bit of a sneakerhead as well, just like Peyton was, and so every year he donates. Last year he donated Jordan 4s
Yep.
for the 4th annual. Yeah, and so
Yeezy slides.
Yeah, this year it's Yeezy slides and the foam
runners.
runners.
Yeah.
So we'll be raffling those off as well.
And that's to stay JD in the theme of just, the AirPeyton, the sneakerhead sort of theme, and also, I mean, what kid doesn't want a
Yeah.
fresh pair of sneakers?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know how old you are, man, but this kind of stuff wasn't happening when we were kids.
No, not at all.
There was no sneaker on the earth that was going for $200 or $300.
Yeah,
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, maybe like,
Yeah.
pair of Chuck Taylors or
When
or,
Peyton
or,
first got into it and he would come
Yeah,
home
yeah.
and we were like, what on earth?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so Peyton declared himself, I think maybe when he was 12 or 13. He's like, I'm a sneakerhead and all that sort of stuff. Or like, that's my hobby.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, your hobby requires you to spend
An inordinate amount of money.
An inordinate amount of money.
Sure.
And to his credit, I mean, he would save money and he would save up.
Babysit.
And he
did
would
all kinds of
babysit and he
things.
would, work at the pool and do all that sort of stuff just so he could save money so he could.
buy
Yeah.
sneakers.
That was his groove.
That
Yep,
was his groove.
Absolutely.
Matt and Danny Smith are my guests this morning, the parents of Peyton. And this coming Sunday is the 5th annual AirPeyton Memorial 5K Walk and Run for Pediatric Cancer Awareness. Sunday from 11 to 2 at Montpelier High School. Registration's going to end on September 10th
So
at 5 p.m., right?
there's a couple of the pre-registration will stop, but people can show up day of and register. The way that we have registration set up
Good.
is if you want to register and purchase a T-shirt, it's $30. But we encourage everyone to just come out and it's by donation if you don't want a T-shirt, and you can donate $1, you can donate $100. It doesn't matter. We just want to encourage everyone to come out and participate. So we've kind of set it up that way because we want to make sure we're including everyone and giving everyone that opportunity.
And it's not like you have to do the 5K.
No,
you
not
can
at all.
Yeah, there's food vendor coming from Northeast Kingdom.
Rocky's New York style hot dogs is coming.
Yeah.
And they're going to have
And they crush all
hot dogs,
all the Vermont
pretzels.
fairs. I mean,
Yeah.
they're bringing their thing.
So there's food trucks, obviously lemonade,
Absolutely.
face painting, lawn games,
Yes.
bouncy house.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, we have 2 huge bouncy,
Two
houses coming.
One for older people like myself. And really? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So seriously, I'm going to the chiropractor next this morning because I threw mine out, so I won't be in the bouncy house. Okay. But it's good that there's an adult version of
Yes,
that.
there's a larger and a smaller to keep everyone safe.
Wow.
Yeah. So it'll be great. We'll have a huge
With free
raffle.
massages right outside that.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
There
We
might
do
be
have
some-
a couple of massages that have been donated for the
Yes.
raffle. So
Yeah, perfect.
Good. Maybe some acetaminophen. This is
exactly.
good stuff.
Exactly.
This is absolutely incredible, guys. And no matter what the weather's doing, you're
It is.
Yep.
It is
Rain or
swinging.
shine.
swinging this.
We are fully prepared, rain or shine.
Yeah.
Do I
Sure.
understand this? Am I reading this correct? As of last year, $26,000 raised for Alex's Lemonade Stand.
Yeah, last year we raised 26.
Last year 26. The goal this year is 50,000, and so we think there is a very, very strong chance of us not just achieving that but exceeding that.
Yeah, we're almost to 40,000 already.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're super.
And that's without just any of the stuff that happens on the day of the event.
Right.
So
Yeah, we get a lot of folks that come and sign up the day of. So we will still have T-shirts available. So yeah.
This has really turned into. You guys are like notched now. This is really something huge.
Yeah.
You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
I know you feel blessed from your community
Very much.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
for showing up and all the
Absolutely.
faces that you don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
People that
Exactly.
that you don't get to meet.
Right.
Yep.
But they're there
Right.
because
Yep.
Right.
in some way,
Right.
directly or
Right.
indirectly, they have been touched from some form of cancer. It's a hot button.
Yeah,
It is.
absolutely.
It
It's
is.
just the word cancer alone. It doesn't
Right.
have to be pediatric, which
Right.
is a
True.
whole
That's
nother level.
That's a true statement.
But man, it's
Yeah,
like
it touches so
people
many
are touched
people.
by this.
Right, right. And that's the idea, JD, is just to bring awareness, obviously, to pediatric cancer, but at the same time, we recognize that we're not alone in this battle,
Right.
and if it helps other folks either through their own personal struggles or someone in their family that's a loved one, then that's great, and we welcome them wholeheartedly and get them on board for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
Sorry. I met a lady last weekend at the farmer's market that's coming out to run. She had just recently lost someone to cancer, and so she was so grateful to have something that she felt like she could do, because she said she felt so helpless, losing someone that was close to her, and she was very excited to be able to come out and participate. So I'm hopeful that that we can continue that. I know I don't think I've ever met someone who hasn't at least known someone, whether it was someone personal to them, a friend, a family member, or just someone that they knew that has been diagnosed with cancer. So it's such it like Matt said, it touches absolutely everyone in some way, shape, or form. So
Peyton is so happy for what you guys have done and what you're continuing to do with such tragedy and great deep sadness. You guys have turned this around, and you've turned it into something massive that is hopefully going to continue to have a residual effect on many more thousands of people than it already has.
we're hopeful. Yeah.
It's really something else.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for JD for just giving a voice to it. I mean,
Yeah.
we are forever grateful, and
Absolutely.
you are now part of Team
part of
AirPeyton.
Team
Man,
AirPeyton.
that gives me goosebumps. If I can sneak over there on Sunday, I'm gonna.
Well,
Please do. We
and
would
if
love
I
to have you.
can't, I'm saving the date next year on the calendar.
Perfect.
because
Awesome.
You guys are doing incredible work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Real quick hit on the Colonel and the Coach.
Yeah.
We cannot close out without giving some props to you guys. What is this podcast?
Yeah, so the Colonel and the Coach is myself and business partner Cam Ellsworth, and we of course have a very unique, close partnership with AirPeyton. We sponsor AirPeyton, just through obviously unique relationship. But we work with, anyone who's looking to take their organization, unit, team, whatever, to the next level, and become empowered to be their more authentic selves and leaders and whatnot. That could be college teams, military units, small businesses, large businesses, and all that sort of stuff, and just give them an opportunity to enhance themselves in the role in which they fill in their organization. So. And we do that through an enduring relationship. It's not a one and done type thing. It's a long-term partnership that we have, because we know growth takes time, and growth is hard sometimes, but we do it in a positive manner. And we just, we look forward to working with folks, whether it's in Central Vermont or in Vermont in general, or anywhere. And so that's the Colonel and the Coach.
Where do we find this podcast?
So you can find the podcast itself. The podcast itself is called On Authentic Leadership, and we are on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. So I'm not sure we're on as many as you, JD, but we're all over the place.
More than me.
Yeah. So yeah, so multiple guests, military guests, athletes, retired professional athletes, and everything in between. Folks that help veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder, and everything in between. Just trying to give them a voice, just like you've given us a voice. So thank you.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's do some great stuff together.
Thank you.
That sounds
So
wonderful.
happy to have you guys on here. What
Absolutely.
an honor.
Thanks,
Thank
JD.
you very much.
Matt and Danny Smith from the 5th annual AirPeyton Memorial 5K Walk and Run for Pediatric Cancer Awareness. And again, it is this Sunday from 11 till 2 at Montpelier High School. We hope to see you all there. Thank you so much for coming in here.
Thank
you.
Sharing your story.
Thank
Thanks,
you
JD,
very much.
very much.